Welcome to Squat Rex. Tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about shoes for squatting. When you go to most gyms, you'll see people squatting in tennis shoes or basketball shoes or running shoes. They're not the best shoes for squatting. They're designed for other activities, and if you are squatting heavy, you'll notice that there's going to be a lot of compression on those shoes. So if your weight shifts at all in that shoe, the cushiness is going to, in effect, push you off to one side, laterally, or forward or back. You wouldn't want to squat on a wrestling mat or in a big pile of sand. And for the same reason, when you're squatting, you want to have a different kind of shoe that has a more solid sole. There are a few kinds of shoes that are most popular among power lifters and Olympic lifters and people who are serious about squatting. One of the most common shoes to see powerlifters squatting in is the Chuck Taylor. It's an old school basketball shoe that now is probably the most popular among powerlifters. It has a relatively thin sole. The sole is also very flat. This, for a lot of powerlifters, helps them sit back into their squat and engage the hips and the hamstrings. Another popular shoe among powerlifters are wrestling shoes. This is about as close as you can get to the floor without actually squatting barefoot. So there is a little bit of sole protection for your foot, and there's traction as well. Another shoe you'll see more among Olympic weightlifters, but sometimes powerlifters will use them too, are an Olympic weightlifting shoe, or other shoes specifically designed for squatting. This is an Adidas weightlifting shoe. They run about $150. They're pretty expensive, but they're definitely worth it. The advantages of using an Olympic weightlifting shoe is that the sole is hard, so there's no give in any direction while you are squatting. Also, one advantage of wearing an Olympic shoe over, for example, wrestling shoes, is that there is a bit of a raised heel, and for a lot of people that helps them put themselves into a good position at the bottom of the hole. There are other great shoes out there. Ricky Dale Crane makes a specialized shoe for squatting. The sole is hard as well. Safe USA also makes a shoe specifically for squatting. You'll see people who play basketball invest hundreds of dollars in their shoes, and yet most people won't take the time or the energy or the money to invest in good foot care. Take some time to think it over and make an investment in some good shoes for squatting.